Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, this morning I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I've been thinking about. And that is in regards to the Ripple XRP scenario, in regards to it being deemed as a security by the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States. Okay, this is I'm thinking about it, and it seems to me that it might be one of the things that obviously everyone has been saying is holding at least XRP's price back, with the fact that there's no actual definitive response from the SEC in regards to the classification of XRP or the Ripple company itself, when it did recently come out and make the claims that Bitcoin and Ethereum are specifically not going to be deemed as securities. And obviously that was good news for the Ethereum and the Bitcoin holders, not necessarily to strike in on a big profit, because the market itself is just in a systemic downward flow, within the fact that there's ups and downs that come within that. But if you look at the charts, basically since the beginning of 2018, we've been moving down. So I think that the question we have to ask is, do we believe that Brad Garlinghouse or David Schwartz are going to go to jail? I mean, that's one of the punishments of fraudulent SEC activities, is selling a security without the proper licensing or paperwork, or paying the right people off. Do you think Brad's going to go to jail? I mean, we could use the hypothetical that in the end, if the SEC was to say that the Ripple company or the XRP ledger was a security, that they would just charge them with a fine, and it might be a hefty fine. But let's not forget, the Ripple company is worth a lot of money, billions and billions and billions of dollars. I mean, it might not be liquid and they might not have access to all of that, but if they got slapped with a $5 million fine or a $10 million fine from the SEC, which I think would be pretty hefty, if the SEC 6 years later was to come in and say, okay, Ripple, you've been doing business for 6 years, the XRP ledger has been around for blah, 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 however long, and we're gonna say that you've been doing illegal security sales for the last 6 years, and we're gonna charge you accordingly, and we're gonna go ahead and deem Ripple and the XRP ledger both a security. The question is, what would that do? I mean, what would happen to the price of XRP? Not to the price of Ripple, because Ripple isn't publicly traded. I, as an XRP investor, don't actually own any of Ripple. So it's, in my mind, it's two completely separate things, and I've known that for a while, and I think that's one of the difficult things, is understanding the difference between the two and really kind of playing out the scenario of what happens. You know, so they claim that it's a security, and Ripple then takes the appropriate steps, now being deemed a security, which they've been doing all along. They're the most highly cooperative, regulated cryptocurrency that's out there acting, or digital asset that's out there in the space now. So I think there is a lot of interesting moves on the horizon. I think with or without the SEC having their hand in this, XRP is going to be a product and a system of the future. I'm not a financial advisor, as everybody says, thanks to Altcoin Buzz and Alex Cobb and DM Logic, and everybody, really every single person that we watch tells us that they're not financial advisors, and that it's just for entertainment purposes only. I'm sorry to say that I don't necessarily think that some of us find these losses entertaining, unless you're one of those people that ultimately really believes in the technology, and every time you see a down thrust like this, you're looking at it as a moment to top off the tanks. So it's a very interesting time in the cryptocurrency space. I'm hoping, obviously, like a lot of the people in the cryptocurrency space, that the Securities and Exchange Commission becomes a little bit clearer about what they're doing, and as far as their definitions go of what's a security and who's a security, even though the SEC has come out and said clearly that they are not going to be changing their requirements or their regulations behind what they deem as a security just to suit the cryptocurrency space. So I think the SEC might be just waiting and watching, just kind of sitting back and seeing what happens with some of these little lawsuits that are coming out, and the way that the Ripple team and the XRP ledger and the distributed technology all tries to progress, and the ways that they try to communicate with the governments in which they're participating and doing business with. I think as holders, as investors, as believers in the Ripple company and the XRP technology, it has been a dark time for everyone in the crypto space, but I think that there is going to be a very nice pot of gold on the other side of it for those who decided to hold through, and that's yet to be seen, but those that rode through it the first couple times know what I'm saying. So good luck. Hold to your guns. Don't let anybody take your bags. Good luck. I hope you guys all have a beautiful and a prosperous day. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you guys have any interest in the cryptocurrency market. There's a lot of really great actors out here in the space for you to follow and for you to learn from and engage with. So definitely keep your ears out there, tuned to the streets, and don't be afraid to make a move that people tell you is not right.